Are you learning what you really need? Let's take a step back. How do you know that? That's what you're about to find out. Hi friends, Teacher Briggs here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video, and if you want to keep on improving your English, you have to subscribe because every week I post different videos to help you become a better speaker. So here we go. Imagine you are in a beautiful farm. You can hear the birds singing, you feel the wind on your face, you see animals walking around, and all of a sudden, you start to think in English. You don't want to think in English, but you're thinking. What are you probably going to think about at that moment? Flowers? Nature? The animals you see? How good you feel? Interesting. Now at that moment, how important is modal verbs? I'd say 0. I understand what you're probably feeling and thinking right now. That's just my imagination, Priscilla. How about real life? You see, in real life, the same thing happens. The biggest challenge students have today is to learn the difference between useful, important, useful language and useless, unnecessary language. How often do you catch yourself wondering why you learn what you learn in English? What's the point? Do you see yourself using those new expressions, phrasal verbs, grammar points, and endless exercises? Why do you study present perfect? What makes present perfect so difficult? To know if what you're studying is really important, the key to making something easier is to make it real. You have to give it real meaning. It's almost as if you could touch it with your hands or mentally. It comes naturally. It's like the question, how are you? How are you? You probably know automatically exactly what to say. That's what you need to do in other aspects of the language. I'm giving you one example within hundreds of thousands of examples I could give. This is a relevant question, and it's an important question for you. That's why it comes so naturally. When you give meaning to what you study, it's easier to learn. Now, $1 million question. How do I do that, Priscilla? How do I give meaning to what I study? How? I can help you with that. Learn relevant subjects and conjugations. When I say conjugations, I'm talking about past, present, future. You have to start small and then go big. If you start with big, difficult things, it'll be difficult for you to find relevant subjects for you to learn and talk about. Some students worry way too much about learning phrasal verbs, expressions, cool slang, and they completely ignore basic things. For example, how many of you have mastered the pronunciation of basic numbers? How many of you confuse the numbers 5 and 6? How many of you confuse the numbers 16 and 60? And I could go on and on. Basic things. You never know when you're going to need to say numbers to people. So many people completely ignore basic language for effective everyday communication. All right, Priscilla, I get it. Relevant subjects, conjugations are important. Can you explain in more details? It's not very clear. All right, let's do it. How well can you describe past situations? For example, your last weekend, a vacation, a dream you had last night, your childhood, places you have visited, the feeling, how you felt when your favorite soccer team lost or won. Can you do that? How well can you do it? These are very simple subjects, and yet, many times, we struggle to talk about them. Now that we found some relevant subjects, we need to ask a very important question. Are they relevant to you? Do you need to talk about those things? Is it important for you to learn how to master those subjects? If the answer is no, it's okay. You just need to spend some time to discover what is relevant to you. What do you need to master in English? And I'm not talking about grammar, I'm talking about subjects, things you want to be confident talking about. When you know relevant subjects, it's easier to understand. It's easier to figure out, to understand exactly what you need to study in terms of vocabulary and structure. Okay, Priscilla, I get it. So, should I study only stuff for work and school? It depends. Imagine you are working for this big company. It's an amazing job. You're so happy you work there. Your English is good. People can understand you. You feel confident talking about work. You nail it. You do a really good job. You know all the necessary vocabulary and structure to do your daily work and to communicate effectively. One day, your manager invites you to lunch. Yeah, he wants to have lunch with you. You accept very happily. And while you're having lunch, your boss starts to talk to you about his favorite vacation destination. How do you feel? Can you do it? Can you carry on the conversation? Is that a relevant subject for you now? It all comes down to place, time, and people. That's why on this channel, I help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English, because these are the most important factors that will help you define what relevant subjects you need to study, because it all depends on where you are, when you're there, and who you're talking to. These three things will help you define what is relevant and what is not relevant. So Priscilla, should I study everything? Because I work, I travel, so everything is important. Oh my God. Oh, by the way, if you're enjoying this video, you have to click like and share it with your friends. By sharing this video, you help other people find this information more easily. You're helping other people learn. Anyways, back to the question. Should you study everything? Yes and no. You have to define your priorities. Otherwise, you will go cuckoo. If you're looking to change jobs, if you want a challenge in your career, it is time to focus on a more professional language, a specific structure and vocabulary to help you achieve this dream, this goal you have. Now, if you're a student and you're trying to get into university, your studies will be different. You're probably going to have to do a certification exam. Relevant subjects, you need to prepare yourself for that. Both speaking, writing, listening, and so on. Now, let's say you've done it all. You have the job you like. You already have your MBA, your PhD, and now the sky is the limit. The only thing that is the same is you need to define your priorities. When you define your priorities, it's easier to find relevant subjects. And remember, learning everything at the same time will make you confused and overwhelmed and frustrated. Use your time wisely. Be smart with your time. And make sure to subscribe, because next week I will have another video for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!